Hey, welcome back. Now, if you follow me, you know it's been about 2 weeks since the last time I posted. I apologize. I know it's been a minute, but I'm back with another recap slash review of a Tubi. I forgot if this is a Tubi original or not. I'm not sure, but it's on Tubi called The Ultimate Vendetta. Now, Don Snipes, he's a part of I call it the light skinned villain crew in movies. Him, Terrence Howard, Michael Ealy, and that guy that played in Five Heartbeats, the one whose hours was 9 to 5. But Don Snipes does not play a villain in this one. He actually plays, I wouldn't even say like a good guy, but he plays, a victim, I guess. He ends up getting killed. But the very first scene had me tight. First of all, you're at a park, right? Now, when I was watching this, I thought it was her son, but, find out later that it's her nephew that she has custody over. You see a white van. And I know this is cliche. I know it's stereotypical, but a white van, a lot of times in people's minds equals kidnapping, kid snatcher, okay? She's sitting down on her phone, of course, talking about all right, Chase, don't go too far. Let the little boy walk all the way up to the van and get kidnapped. Now, when you have a little kid at the park, I'm not saying you have to just be on their butt the whole time, but you need to be close enough. I guess you have to practice, common sense. You want the child to play and not be hovering over them, but I wouldn't let them walk all the way, to the end of the street, and you know what I'm saying, way over here on the... So, little boy gets snatched. It rolls over to 5 years later, and her husband, Don Snipes, they move into this real nice looking house. And then he gets killed first day on the job. Now, when he meets his partner, he was all rude and stuff, the partner, and I was like, what in the training day is going on? That's where my mind went to. But I wasn't expecting him to die, so I'm like, okay, he dies first day on the job. So I'm like, this happened so early on in the movie that I'm like, okay, so the focus is going to be on her. And she has a sister. That's how I found out that was her son and her sister's son and not hers, So I'm like, wow. So we find out at the end that the sister was on drugs and she ended up getting custody. You should be so lucky to be on drugs and that your sister that is in a stable marriage, stable income, has custody of your child. Because I'm pretty sure you've seen the movie at this point. The sister was behind everything. She was behind the kidnapping. It was a fake kidnapping. First of all, you traumatized your son to get back at your sister. Had her and her son hiding out in this warehouse type deal. I don't even know if the little boy was going to school. Probably not. But she went through all this to get back at her sister. So we never found out who exactly killed her husband, because the scene where they both showed up to this house to inspect it, the husband was on the back side and his partner was on the front side, so I'm guessing maybe the sister did it. That was kind of a plot hole that was not filled. We didn't see exactly who killed the husband. But we know the sister has something to do with it, so I'm thinking it's her, right? So, like I said, the bulk of the movie, we're focused on her, the wife. Now, I will say this. When we get to the point where the people break into her house, and then her sister comes to check up on her, and she basically discloses to her that, hey, I'm the one that set all this up. I feel like it started to drag a little bit from there. It took her too long to kill her sister. The drug addicted sister who's now clean, the villain. It took her too long. It was this back and forth of, I'm sorry that he got... the sister died thinking her nephew was kidnapped, not knowing that her sister was behind it. So this woman died with that. But this whole back and forth with the I'm sorry, and then the sister's saying some stuff, and she shoots her child's father because it was crazy because she was like, yeah, when the police come, they're going to find, all these dead bodies. And he was like, all these dead bodies. He was looking like, what you mean? And she was like, oh, yeah, I can't have any witnesses. Pops his behind. Now, here's my question. This is the villain sister told her, oh, well, this is Chase's dad. She didn't know that. So my thing is, your sister had a baby. The little boy got kidnapped, quote unquote, at 5 years old. She never met her sister's baby father. I thought that was weird. I'm not trying to pick apart movies. It's just that, when you're reviewing stuff, you kind of catch things. And it's like, so you didn't know that was her baby father? But you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, with her being on drugs, she may have not really been that involved with her sister. So I'm a feel that plot hole myself with that one. I will say I'd love the chemistry between Don Snipes' character and the woman that played his wife. The chemistry was really good. It was really believable. Chemistry plays a big part in a movie. It really does. Now, chemistry is not something that can be faked. You either have it together or you don't. So whenever a couple that's on screen has real life chemistry working together, it makes, I feel like, the movie flow smoother, right? It's believable, you know what I mean? So I hate that his character died so quickly because they were really feeding off of each other, and like I said, it had good chemistry. The woman who was the main character, right, who ultimately gets killed by her sister, she did a great job. I don't recognize her in any other movies, but I'm pretty sure they pretty much a lot of these movies come out of Detroit, so they use a lot of the actors that stay in that city. So I'm pretty sure she played in something before that I haven't seen. They drop movies every week, and I have to catch up because I literally have not watched Tubi in 2 weeks since the last, it's been a minute since the last time I saw that movie that I did a review on, Get Off My Lawn. That was the last Tubi movie I saw, and that was a minute ago, so I gotta catch up. But yeah, I enjoyed this one. Like I said, you had a little parts where it was kind of dragging a little bit, but nothing to totally complain about too much. Ultimate Betrayal, again, it was nice to see Don Snipes in a non-villain role, but he is still on the list of light-skinned, green, hazel, blue-eyed actors that play villain roles. He's still on that list because I'm still mad at him for a few stuff he was in before. But anyway, check out The Ultimate Betrayal. Let me know what you think about it. I am back. I'm back. Sorry to keep y'all waiting, for those that were waiting. Shout out to the creators, the writers, the directors, the actors that have reached out to me on here and on Instagram and thanking me for looking at their work. I thank you for putting some entertainment out there, for us to look at when we're in the house, cleaning up, taking a break. Let me put something on, watch real quick. It's Saturday night. Let me kick back and see what's on Tubi. So shout out to y'all. All right. Shout out also to my 155 subscribers. Shout out to the rest of you as well who are not subscribed, but you can by hitting that button for me. It's free. Doesn't cost nothing. Only take a second to push. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers now. Since I haven't been here in 2 weeks, that's my fault. Okay? So we're going to keep it consistent from here on out. We're going to see how close to 1,000 I can get by December 31st. All right? Thank you very much. Peace and blessings to every last one of you watching. Until next time.